What's up, everybody? My name is Erin, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back for part 4 of Astrologaster. So far, this game has been a lot more entertaining than what I was first presented with, and I want to keep it going and see if I can get all of my letters of recommendation. I definitely have one client who I'm not on great terms with, so I hope I don't have to rely on him to get my letter of recommendation. But there's a whole slew of characters that I'm growing increasingly fond of, and I just want to see what happens next. So let's get back in there.
Sibyl's a fine host, of this she will oft boast. She loves to entertain, she loves to entertain. Though hard she does try, her dinners go awry. And in tears and shame.
Good morrow, Mistress Fortescue. How may I help you this day?
I did lately experience feelings of a most strange and disturbing nature, for which I desire an explanation.
I see. Prithee describe these feelings to me, madam. When did they occur?
Last eve, at a dinner party hosted by my dear friend Mistress Emma Delamere. All was well at first, but soon after my arrival I was stricken with a kind of madness.
Madness, you say?
Yes, moments during which I found myself overcome with feelings of mirth, laughing most immoderately at the dullest of remarks made by other guests. At other times I felt an unnatural fascination with the shape of the candelabra in the table's centrepiece. And all the while I was so ravenous with hunger, I quite absent-mindedly ate all the sweetmeats at my end of the table. I fear my rapaciousness did not escape the notice of guests seated beside me.
Such an immoderate appetite is out of character for you, I take it. It could not have merely been occasioned by anxious passions?
Why, nay, Dr. Foreman. Forsooth, I ought to have been very calm last eve, for I did spend the afternoon inhaling the fumes of an aromatic oil, a gift from my sweet husband, sent back from his explorations in the Near East. I did mention my husband, Captain Henry Fortescue, before, I think. He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh. Oh, Henry and Sir Walter find the oil most relaxing, so he tells me.
Yet you were not so very relaxed last eve, I take it.
No, not in the least, for I fear a capricious spell was cast upon me. Over the course of the evening, I developed the strongest intuition that malignant forces were present in the room, and that I had been bewitched. Could it be true, Dr. Foreman? Might a witch have cast a spell on me?
That is something we shall have to ask the stars, madam. Let us see. What was it that afflicted Mistress Sybil Fortescue last eve at dinner?
Sounds like her husband sent her hallucinogenics. It's one zodiac to diagnose the condition. What caused my strange behavior at dinner? The querent is troubled with melancholy, a condition characterized by lethargy, anxiety, and sadness. Saturn represents an imbalance of black bile, melancholy. The querent has been bewitched. The moon, this suggests the illness is temporary. Uranus, this suggests witchcraft. Pluto, this suggests the possibility of death. Well, we don't want to scare her with that. Sybil Fortescue's troubles result from smoke inhalation. Yes, this one. The sun, this suggests the condition is chronic. And Mercury, domicile in Gemini, this suggests an altered mental state. Yes.
Now, madam, the oil your husband sent you. This was the first time you did inhale its fumes, methinks.
Yes, the shipment of gifts from my husband did only lately arrive.
Ah, then I think we have your answer. I have read some interesting tales of such oils and herbs of the Near East. 'Tis said they occasion certain temperaments, to wit, an excessive sanguinity, which will have caused the immoderate laughter and increased appetite. They can also provoke a narrowing of the mind, which would explain your temporary fascination with the candelabra, and I believe the fumes of this oil may also have been responsible for the notion that you have been bewitched.
And the men of the Near East gain pleasure from this oil? They would render themselves foolish on purpose?
Aye, indeed. Foreigners have many strange customs and desires that we cannot hope to understand.
How fascinating! I thank you for this explanation, sir. Indeed, 'twill make for a most diverting tale with which to regale guests at my next dinner. God give you good morrow, Dr. Foreman.
Getting repeat customers.
Another consultation. Will this one end in bed? Or will Mistress Allen slap him round the head?
Ah, good day, Mistress Allen. What brings you this day? Oh, dear lady, you tremble like a leaf on an autumn day.
Aye, for I am most affrighted. But Mr. Allen says he thinks I worry over naught. So I am come to you, for methinks you would... Perchance you may help me.
By my troth, Pray tell me of this evil that affrighted you, madam, and I shall do all in my power to protect you from it.
Yes, evil. Oh, indeed, 'tis the very word for it. I have seen a dark figure prowling outside our house in the night, and once I saw him spying through my window. Who is he? What does he want from me? What am I to do?
I see. And you do not recognize his face or any other particulars? The colour of his hair, for instance?
Oh, nay, for 'tis always so dark. But by his silhouette I can tell he is a bony, scrawny little man.
Is he verily? But your husband thinks 'tis naught to worry over, you say?
Aye, he says the man is doubtless naught but a poor travelling tinker who is merely taking shelter in our garden. 'Twould explain why his figure is so slight, to be sure, but what if he is not a tinker? What if his purpose is more sinister?
Aye, indeed. Then let us consult the stars. Who is the man prowling outside the Allen's house in the night, and what is his purpose?
What, is it not you, Simon? Who has been prowling me and why? Avis is mine. She must rein in her behavior. Ooh. The moon, this represents a woman, Avis Allen. Saturn, this suggests constraint. Not only does Avis have a deceptive nature, she is obsessed with romance and has a preference for younger men. Venus, this represents the romantic partner. Mars represents young men. And Neptune, this suggests deception. Avis risks being punished by God for her frequent comings and goings from her house. The Prowler is a mature, intelligent man who is a secret enemy of the Allens. Sun, this represents a mature man. Mercury, this suggests intelligence. The intimate relationship between Avis and I is changing. Uranus represents change. Pluto, this represents sex. I mean, this would upset her. Oh, these are both not good options. Sure. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna jump on in.
The stars suggest the Prowler is a secret foe of your husband. Does Mr. Allen have any gambling debts, perchance?
Hold. Methinks I see it now. Ah, 'tis you! The Prowler, 'tis you!
Me? How now, madam? What an outlandish notion.
So you would deny it? That you have prowled and spied upon me these last months?
Prithee, Avis, you've got it all.
I will not have it. I am not a thing to be owned. I'm not one of your prized possessions.
I prithee, madam, put that down. Put it...
Ah!
Fie, madam. That was a priceless Venetian vase.
Awkward. The querent, believing she was being prowled, did wish to know the identity of her prowler. I advised the querent that the prowler was a secret enemy of her husband's. She disagreed and accused me of prowling her. Methinks the querent took my advice most ill. Yeah, but I think of the two, that was the better option because I don't want to scare her or accuse her, you know? If I see him in the garden again, I shall have Mr. Allen go and... Nay, methinks I had best not tell Mr. Allen.
Who is this man who has had such a claim? Lately returned from his conquests in Spain. The streets of London resound with his fame. Robert Devereux, that is his name.
Good day, sir. How may I... By Jupiter! Can it be true? Robert Devereux, the Earl of Essex, Lord of Her Majesty's Privy Council, a hero of the Battle of Cadiz.
Prithee, calm yourself, sirrah. Pray, treat me just as you would any other querent.
Of course, as it pleases your lordship. But may I say, what a great privilege it is to... may I offer you a...
You are the man who had some success treating the plague some years past, are you not?
Oh, indeed, my lord. You are very well informed. My strong water did save many a Londoner from a most lamentable death.
Then perchance you might have some cunning cure for me as well, for since I am returned to England upon having resolved that small matter in Spain, I find myself afflicted with the most vexing ailment.
Oh, but your most glorious capture of the Spanish city of Cadiz was no small matter, my lord. All England talks of nothing else. Why, pamphlets recounting your heroic exploits are sold on every street corner in London.
Mayhap they are. I know nothing of them. My single-handed victory against the King of Spain was but a trifling affair, and the least I could do for my queen and a grateful nation. But I fear vast riches and the hearts of many a Spanish beauty were not the only things I did capture while I was there.
What else did you capture in Spain, my lord? I fear I do not grasp your meaning. If you would kindly show me where upon your body you are...
As you see, this Spanish disease I caught has me oozing a most disagreeable substance.
Methinks I have a fair idea of the nature of your affliction, but I must confirm the judgment with a reading of the stars. Let us see, what disease troubles Robert Lord Devereux, the Earl of Essex?
I mean, I think we know. Let's consult the stars. My body does ooze a foul substance. What is my illness and how may I be cured? Robert Devereux is suffering from gonorrhea, a disease characterized by white matter running from the privy member and pain when passing urine. Suggests the illness will not last long. Robert Devereux is troubled with love. Sun and domicile in Leo. This suggests the illness will be long-lasting. Neptune, this suggests the illness is curable. And Robert Devereux is suffering from evil digestion, an affliction that may occasion both upward and downward purging. No, it's gonorrhea.
You have gonorrhea, my lord. 'Tis a condition provoked by an increase in intimate activities.
Too much strumpy-humpy, eh? Well, 'tis true that since news of my victory got about, every wench from Southwark to Shoreditch wants a piece of my action, as it were. And how may this gonorrhea be cured?
The most effective method is lead plate therapy. Usually this requires a man to lie in bed for many hours with a leaden plate positioned upon his privy parts, thus allowing the lead to impart its healing properties to the affected member. But, of course, men such as your lordship have no time to lie around in bed, which is why... Let me just fetch it from my cabinet. Which is why I invented this.
And that is what? Some sort of wonder chub, like the ones old men used to wear?
Precisely so, my lord. 'Tis a codpiece that I had a blacksmith fashion out of lead. I invite your lordship to wear it under your breeches so that the lead may remain in contact with your privy member at all times. Indeed, until you are cured.
How very droll this is. Verily, how old-fashioned. I will appear as hung as old King Henry Tudor. Mayhap I just wear it in my chambers.
Good day, and please come again. If you need anything at all, I am at your service.
Yeah, I'm not reading that. Though if I were to go about Whitehall Palace wearing a wonder chub, perchance it would revive the fashion for codpieces?
Watch another Avis, watch her night and day. If a woman has your heart, you cannot let her stray.
Oh no, I didn't expect to see her back so soon.
Ah, Avis, I did not expect to see you this evening. Do you bring news?
Aye, some very good news, at least if you confirm it for me. Methinks I am with child.
Ah, how very wondrous. And, have you any idea of who might...
Aye, verily, with child, but I dare not to. Forsooth, what if it be naught but false hope?
Then let us ask the stars without delay. Is Mistress Avis Allen verily with child?
Okay, I don't know if that was a glitch or if she was supposed to come out sounding all echoey, but that was pretty scary. Am I with child? Evil angels are confusing Mistress Allen. Within a few months, it will become clear that she is not with child. Neptune in retrograde. This represents confusion that will be resolved. Mistress Allen is aging. This decreases her chances of being with child. Saturn in retrograde. This represents a reversal due to aging. I should feel optimistic about the relationship between Avis and me. Jupiter. This advises optimism. Mistress Allen is untrustworthy and creative when it comes to her marital duties. The Sun in detriment in Aquarius. This represents untrustworthiness. Mercury. This represents creativity. Mistress Allen's family thinks she is lazy. The Moon falling in Scorpio. This represents a lazy woman, Avis Allen. Mistress Allen is with child, but it will die, for she will experience some sudden bad luck, a miscarriage. Uranus, this represents the sudden change in fortune. Pluto, this represents death. The father of Mistress Allen's unborn child is a strong young man that she is romantically involved with. Venus, this represents a romantic partner. Mars exalted in Capricorn, this represents a strong young man. Ugh. Again, these are both... They're not great options either way. I don't know. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna come at me, consequences.
Madam, the stars confirm that you are indeed with child, and that the father is...
Oh, joy! Simon, is it not wondrous? You and I are to be blessed.
Hold. I am not finished. The stars also reveal the identity of the father.
There is no need to read the stars for that, for surely 'tis obvious that you...
Prithee, admit it. You have been coupling with my manservant, William.
Why, you... I warrant the stars say nothing of the sort.
See here, in my chart. 'Tis plain as day. In the house of children, alongside Venus, there is the planet Mars. Who else but William could that be?
But such scribblings of yours, they mean nothing to me. For all I know, you make up those stories about planets and houses and such. Why, verily, perchance you might draw up a new chart, Simon. One that tells of how the planet Avis is no longer in the House of Foreman.
You would mock me, madam? You would make a jest of my... Oh, I see. Leaving now, are you? Then you do so. You leave. I bid you good day.
Ugh, that was rough. But I think we all knew it was going to happen eventually. So let's just turn the page. The querent did wish to know whether she was with child. I advised the querent that she was with child and gave voice to my suspicion that the child's father was my manservant, William Buck. Methinks the querent took my advice rather ill. I think she would have also taken the first option rather ill.
Rich but not satisfied, mayhap you have not tried this one weird trick for displaying your wealth. Buy herbs and confections to boost your complexion and pass idle hours tending to your health.
Who's this fancy man?
Good even, sir. Who do I have the pleasure of welcoming to my chambers this day?
Nicholas Muggs, proprietor of Muggs Rugs down on Silver Street.
Ah, the wig makers. You supply wigs to players, do you not? I have heard tell of your fine work from some of my playhouse querents.
I thank ye for your kindness, sir. I do hear you are very skilled at your trade also. For are you not the curer of the plague of 92? Forsooth, I do hope you may cure me as well. For though I do not think I have the plague, whatever I have is doubtless most grave, no matter what my wife thinks.
And what is it your wife thinks?
It be her mind that I have taken naught but a chilly cold in the head. But 'tis not so, Dr. Foreman, for I ache all over. My throat is grown sore, and I cough day and night.
Day and night, you say?
Aye, verily.
I see. Then let us consult the stars. What does ail Nicholas Mugg?
Mugg is troubled with hypochondria, possibly induced by witchcraft. This condition could one day prove fatal. Mercury, this suggests hypochondria. Uranus, this suggests the possibility of witchcraft. And Pluto, this indicates the possibility of death. Mugg has taken a cold in the head, the symptoms of which include a cough, short-windedness, a hoarse throat, and pain throughout the body. Jupiter, this indicates an imbalance of blood. Mugg is suffering from a cardiac passion characterized by short-windedness, grievous pain both in the heart and throughout the body. Neptune in retrograde, this suggests the condition cannot be cured.
I am pleased to say that your wife is correct, and you have little to worry over. You have what we doctors call frigidus ad hominem, or as it is more commonly known, a man-cold.
Frigid... a man-cold, you say?
Aye, 'tis a cold in the head, suffered uniquely by those of the male sex. And, although it be a minor affliction, the suffering can be very great.
A minor affliction, you say? That cannot be right. I bid you check the stars again, sir, for see how ill I am, and my throat grows so hoarse I can hardly speak.
I think the trouble in your throat may be occasioned by overuse. Perhaps you might try, discoursing less.
Well, I think you ought to know that I will be seeking a second opinion.
As you will, sir. Good day.
Man, I am not doing great this episode. The querent did present with pain, a sore throat, and coughing. I did diagnose frigidus ad hominem, a cold in the head suffered uniquely by men, as it is, in truth, but a minor affliction. I did not prescribe any treatment. Methinks the querent took my advice a little ill. I will now go to the apothecary for a tincture of herbs. An apothecary may always be counted on to sell a manicure.
Robert Lord Dare rose a rising star, dashing and debonair, he will go far. Oh, London greets him with cries of huzzah! In truth, we cannot stay so sweet when we are.
Back so soon, my lord?
Good day, my lord. How may I do you service? Would it pertain to some thrilling adventure upon which you may soon be embarking?
Indeed it does. Sir Walter Raleigh and I did recently come across some intelligence concerning a fleet of Spanish ships that will soon be sailing home from the New World, bearing a goodly cargo of gold. Raleigh and I plan to borrow the royal fleet, which we will use to intercept the ships and seize the treasure.
Huzzah! But, borrow the Royal Navy, you say?
Aye, only temporarily, of course. The Queen will hardly know her ships are gone. Indeed, when we return them to her bearing a handsome prize of Spanish gold, She will doubtless forgive our failure to file the correct paperwork and whatnot.
Doubtless. And how may I assist your lordship in this glorious endeavour?
Well, in order to intercept the Spanish fleet, we must know which route it is planning to take. One possibility is that it returns to Spain having retrieved the gold from the New World's southern continent. The other possibility, and this is the one Sir Walter thinks most likely, is that the gold has already been transported by conquistadors from the southern continent up to Havana, and the ships are to fetch it from there.
Then let us see whether the stars can tell us upon which route the treasure ships may be intercepted on their return to Spain from the New World. Will they be sailing from the southern continent or from the Spanish colony of Havana?
I don't even get to advise against this. The crew of the Spanish ships happened upon the gold by conquering and killing its owners. Mars domicile in Aries, this suggests victory. Uranus, this indicates a sudden change of fortune. Pluto, this represents death. Through the conquering of foreign peoples, the King of Spain is establishing a fine cultural legacy for future generations. The Sun, this represents authority. Mercury, this suggests creativity. Venus domicile in Taurus, this indicates refinement. Jupiter, this represents foreigners. Women factor into the Spaniards' travel plans. The Moon, this represents women. Devereaux should trust his son Raleigh's instincts. Neptune, this represents instincts. And the Spanish sailors hide a shameful secret that relates to a lack of self-control. Saturn in retrograde, this indicates a reversal of constraint. Ugh. I am not doing great this episode.
The Spanish treasure ships will take a direct route back from the southern continent, from whence the gold was, found. For it seems the treasure was, well, discovered by the fleet's own soldiers.
Excellent, excellent. But where are we to intercept them? Pray, give me the precise day, latitude, and longitude.
Certainly, my lord. But divining nautical coordinates is a somewhat lengthy and complex process. If your lordship would kindly return in an hour or so...
Quickly, sir! I have not the time to bide here all day.
Well then, let me see now. Taking into account the position of Jupiter, divide by 3, carry the 1. Yes. The Spanish treasure ships may be intercepted upon the 15th day of October at a latitude of 9 and 40 degrees north and 5 and 20 degrees west, or thereabouts. That said, however, I cannot promise you that...
Excellent. Raleigh and I shall sail to this very spot. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Godspeed, my lord.
So I got the approval. But at what cost? The querent did wish to know where he and Sir Walter Raleigh might intercept some Spanish treasure ships. I advised the querent that the treasure ships will sail directly back to Spain from the southern continent of the New World. I gave him coordinates for a location where he and Raleigh might intercept them. May God be with our English fleet, for I had not the time to verify the soundness of my calculations. Methinks the querent was a little pleased with me for the reading I gave this day, but I bet he's going to be coming back very displeased. I wonder if my men have yet contrived to scrape all that damnable manchego cheese off my Oh no. Ugh, gross. I'm out. Alright everyone, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Astrologaster. Hopefully next time will go a lot smoother. I did not do great this episode. I got a lot of negative Yelp reviews, and I really need to bump that up. At the rate I'm going, that certification is just pulled further away from my grasp. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!